What is up, my loves? Welcome back to another episode of the Fully Alive podcast. In this episode, we are going to be breaking down the 4-step timeline to finding your purpose. The 4 steps that, after helping over 100 people find their purpose, I've noticed time and time again are the key steps that any person moves through when they are going about taking action on their purpose. If you are someone who's felt that tug in your heart, that pull to live greater than just going through the motions of life, greater than just waking up, going to your 9 to 5, coming home, having the relationship, having the lifestyle, having the family, and then retiring when you're 65 and wondering what happened with all of your years, then you are exactly in the right place. Or if you're a business owner and maybe you've already been doing the work that you know that you are super passionate and inspired to do, but for some reason you feel disconnected from your deeper mission. You feel bored by the results of what's going on. They're incredible. They're amazing. They're everything that you had once asked for, but it's getting a little bit boring because you know there's a deeper movement and mission that's moving through you. You are exactly in the right place. I'm going to also break down the number one thing that really differentiates the people who say that they want a big life and say that they want to find their purpose and take action on it and really create fulfillment in their life and actually do it, versus those who say and then get in their own way and fall short. Okay. I'm going to be so freaking honest with you, more honest than I care to be, because it is truly the juice. You know, purpose is something that is so elusive. I think at some point, every single human will question, what is my purpose in this world? And we're not taught it in school. Nobody talks about it. Nobody sits you down and is like, hey, here's how to create fulfillment in your career and in your life. Here's how to actually live according to that purpose that was placed on your heart. And my personal belief is that we don't choose our purpose chooses us. And so if you feel that tug on your heart to live according to a greater purpose, maybe you have a vision for what you want for your life and it's not the quote unquote traditional path, or you feel this call to serve a mission that's so much bigger than you, that actually makes a difference. No one prepares you for what that path looks like. And so after working with clients upon clients upon clients, I've noticed these patterns. And my intention with all of this is to normalize the entire process of what it looks like to actually find your purpose and then take action on it so that you can be the champion of your purpose, that you don't get caught off guard. I mean, honestly, you're still going to have your own learning lessons, but so that you don't get caught off guard. You're like, oh my God, what's happening? Because the reality is, anytime you go into the unknown, your brain is going to be like, alert, alert. We don't know what's happening next. And it's going to want to sabotage it. So my intention is to peel back the curtain and show you what I've noticed over time so that you can mentally prepare yourself. You know exactly what to pay attention to, and you know the key players that you need in order to really take action on your purpose. Because in my opinion, if every single human being in this world were living according to their purpose, I think that the world is programmed for harmony. I think that if we actually, every single human, were doing exactly what they are put in this earth to do, rather than just what they're good at, or rather than just what other people have told them they should be doing, then we'd be able to help a lot of people. So without further ado, let's head into it. So first things first, we got to get on the same page. All right. So I know I talk about finding your purpose. And if you're watching this, because we're in video form, I did air quotes around finding. I know we talk about finding your purpose. Okay. I'm going to be so real with you. I do that for marketing purposes because I actually don't believe in finding your purpose. You are not being bamboozled. I promise. Okay. I don't believe in finding your purpose. I believe in activating your purpose. And what I have noticed over time is that this idea of finding your purpose means that your purpose is something that is outside of you, that you have to go on this quest to find in something or someone outside of you. And it keeps you in this cycle of chasing your tail over and over and over, when in actuality, your purpose has always been within you. I talk about it like it's your purpose code. Right? Your purpose code is similar to your DNA. It's a combination of your values, your vision, your mission, and your skill set in this world that come together and create your own unique purpose that you are meant to serve. And it has always been inside of you. It is shaped by the experiences that you've been through. But I believe that on a soul level, we come into this world knowing our purpose, and our entire process of this life is coming back to that and coming back to that and coming back to that and releasing all of the programming that society or other people have placed on our life because they were doing their best, and to really come back to our own truth. And so I talk about it like activating your purpose code instead of finding your purpose, because it's not outside of you. It's about this quest of the internal landscape of yourself. And when you can understand that, you take back your own powers, that you are in the driver's seat. You are the one who gets to activate your own vision. Of course, I can give you prompts. I can ask you questions. I can take you through all of the resources and exercises to be able to get closer and closer to that. And in fact, I'm incredibly good at it. However, at the end of the day, I will never take credit for helping you find your purpose. I help you activate it. Okay. So that's what we're doing. So step number one, when we go into activating our purpose, what I've said previously is that you don't always choose your purpose, but your purpose chooses you. And it starts with a vision. So maybe you are someone who has grown up from a very young age having this big vision on your heart. Maybe when you grow up, you're like, I want to be this incredible artist who draws these beautiful murals on the side of buildings, and it just makes everyone pause and have a different perspective on their day. Or maybe you just had this big dream when you were younger, or this little inkling inside of you of the vision and the impact that you wanted to create. Okay? So maybe you've always had it. I think that's awesome. What I find happens more often than not is that a wake-up call happens within your life. And it makes you realize that you have this one precious life, that you don't necessarily get another one. And maybe that's through a really challenging event, a traumatic event. Maybe it comes through a health scare. Maybe it comes through a relationship that didn't go your way, something that was shocking within your life, or a pattern that you came up against over and over and over. And it made you realize, wow, I am here to do something greater than just go through the motions. I'm not here to waste my life. I don't have time to waste. I'm here to serve others with exactly what I've learned walking through all of this. That is what I typically notice happens. And so if you are someone who you're listening to this and you're like, Steph, I don't know why I've been thrown so many challenges within my life, I will always say the greater the challenge, the greater the purpose on the other side. I promise you that there is something in there that you are meant to learn and then use to be able to build a bridge for other people. And that is a powerful, incredible thing. And when those challenges can then bring you closer to your own vision, that's the start. Because once you wake up, there is absolutely no going back. Some of you guys have experienced this, right? It's like the more that you deny that vision on your heart, so maybe you have this idea of like this lifestyle that you want to live. I remember before I ever really knew what my purpose is, I would sit at my desk, and while I was doing my schoolwork where they were like training me to be in finance, I was imagining myself having this beautiful company, living in Bali, teaching other people, creating courses, speaking on stages. That was the vision that was placed on my heart. I had this vision of ultimate freedom, financial freedom, wanting to travel, wanting to do big things. I remember walking into my college campus and they sat me down. It was the first day. It was like during orientation. She was like, Steph, do you have any idea of kind of your career path moving forward? And I said, I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but I know that I want to be my own boss. And she goes, well, okay, so how are you going to do that? And I was like, well, I don't quite know yet. She was like, are you going to, work in a family business? Are you going to climb the ladder? Like, what's going to happen? I was like, I don't know, but I know that I'm here to be my own boss. And in the back of my mind, I had that whole vision on my heart. I didn't share there because I knew she wouldn't get it, but I had that vision on my heart. And that's where it started. Started in combination with a huge wake-up call that I had that was my own personal health scare, rock bottom. I have other podcasts that are on that, right? So we start with the vision. You can ignore that vision. You can ignore it. You can deny it if you would like to. However, you'll start to notice that the more that you deny that vision on your heart, the more things go haywire within your life. It might be your body speaking to you. I know this happened for me. The more out of alignment I was with that vision and that desire to serve other people and to serve a mission that was greater than me, the more that my body spoke to me, and I was sick and I had health scares and I had different things that were happening within my life to show me, hey, Steph, not this path. You're meant to go down something so much bigger, right? So you can ignore it. Maybe it's not through health. Maybe it's just other little signs that you're getting. You can ignore it until you hit another breaking point where you throw up your hands and you say, I don't care what I have to do, but I cannot deny this calling anymore. I know that I'm here for something greater. And even though it's scary and even though it's hard and even though I'm afraid of what every single person around me is going to say and who's going to support me on this path and the changes that I'm going to have to make within my life, I'm willing, because I can't deal with this, everything going haywire. I cannot deny it any longer. And you say yes to it. And once you say yes to it, that is when the fun begins. And what I mean by fun, baby, is that your life accelerates. There's love, there's joy, there's manifestation. You feel like you're alive again. This is where the feeling of fully alive comes from. There's this excitement, this renewed, like, yes, I'm actually doing something with my life. And I know that it's going to be worth it. And it's not easy, but God, this feels so much better than doing what I was doing before, which is numbing out and following the traditional path of what other people told me I should do. You finally feel refreshed with this deep appreciation and this vision for your life. There's motivation. Even when it's hard, there's that feeling of like, yes, I'm actually doing something, right? And you start to meet the exact right people to bring this vision to life. And you're like, oh my God, this is the magic that Steph talks about. Holy cannoli. Yes. Okay. This is exactly it. Okay. That fun lasts for a little bit. Then there's a trade-off. There's a trade-off. There's always a trade-off, right? I remember when I first started to realize there were trade-offs, I was like, God, why you got to do this? Okay, there's a trade-off because your purpose will require a different version of you than the one who has been existing in your life up until this point. What got you to that place within your life is not going to get you to the next. You will become initiated. I say initiation because your purpose calls a level of leadership from you to the plate. Maybe you're here to lead a movement. Maybe you're here to lead a business. Maybe you're here to lead in this specific role that you envision for yourself. Maybe you're here to lead a family. Who knows? But your purpose will initiate you into that new level of leadership. This might come through challenge where certain things start to pop up around in your life where you're like, I didn't ask for that one. Excuse me. Like, what's happening here? Didn't order that one. No, I thought this was like rainbow sunshine butterflies. Like, I just committed my purpose. I thought it was going to be great. Yeah, there's some challenge that comes up. Maybe you start noticing patterns and habits that you used to be a little bit unconscious of, so you didn't know that they were there, but now they're coming to the surface because they have to be seen in order to actually be healed and walked through. But because they're coming to the surface, you're like, oh my God, Steph, I've never had so many fears. I've never had so much resistance. I've never had so many self-doubts. Like, what happened? The minute I committed to my purpose, like I just start fearing things. Like, no, thank you. It's like, oh, they were actually always there, but they're just coming to the surface because they have to be seen. Because the first step in healing any of those is awareness. And in order to be the leader of your purpose, those patterns clearly are not fit to rule the next level of your reality. And it can feel like they are in your face all at once. I have so been there. And if you're in that stage, I get you and I got you. I know it can be intense. And I know the first few times it happens, you're like, God, this is so jarring. I remember for me, at first, it seemed like super amazing and super fun. And then I had all of these fears come to the surface and I felt paralyzed in inaction. I was like, what is happening? I was invincible. Maybe I just need to get back to that invincibility. Let me tell you, this is just another part of your unfolding. I promise you it gets better. I want to normalize this so much because the biggest mistake that people will make is they see all of these patterns that arise to the surface inevitably when you commit to your purpose. Maybe it's self-doubt. Maybe it's worrying about what other people will think. Maybe there are certain elements within your life that actually start to go a little bit haywire. Maybe there are relationships that start to trickle out of your life. Maybe there are partnerships that you thought were really, really solid, but for some reason they're deteriorating. Shit can hit the fan a little bit. And the biggest mistake is taking this as a sign that it's not working, when in actuality, it is just the initiation to the next level of your leadership that your purpose requires of you. That if you want to live a big life and you want to create a movement that magnetizes millions and you want to have the freedom and the joy and the abundance that's in that vision that was placed on your heart, there are certain patterns, experiences, maybe relationships, fears, doubts that must be released in order to be that version of yourself. And the biggest lie that you can tell yourself when you're in the middle of this is, I can't handle this. Michael Singer, who is the author of The Untethered Soul, he does these incredible weekly talks. And he says the mere fact that you are in the middle of it means that you can handle it, means that it was given to you for some sort of reason to serve the purpose that you are meant to have in this world. And the sooner that you can see that as, rather than, oh my God, I'm a victim to all these things, what just happened, see it as a challenge to be like, I'm game. I can handle this. Of course, this was given to me. Bring it on. Because you know what's on the other side? Purpose, vision, fulfillment. I know that it's there. I know that I'm here to serve people. And so therefore, I'm willing to stand in the fire with myself. I'm willing to dig my heels in, even when everything inside of me wants to collapse into fear because it feels so freaking strong. Because the bigger the challenge, the bigger the purpose on the other side. And so this brings us into step 2 of the entire path, where this challenge forces you to hit your knees. Maybe in a big way, maybe in a smaller way. That's okay too. And you get to ask yourself, who am I in that moment? When I hit my knees and I question everything and I question this purpose that was given to me, will you crumble under the distraction that your ego is trying to feed you and give in? Or will you take it as a challenge? And typically, you will come to this point where you hit your knees for two reasons. The first is to create space for the incredible life that your purpose is bringing in to your reality. Because sometimes we got to release the things that were taking up space, whether that's emotional space, mental space, spiritual space, actual space within your life, to create space for the or better. It's this or something better. And B, to allow you to actually lean into the deeper why for pursuing your purpose. This is where your leadership starts to get good, is when you actually tune in to what is the deeper why behind you pursuing a life of purpose. Why do you actually want it? Because yes, the vision is cute. Yes, having success and abundance and freedom, all of that is cute. Yes, serving other people is cute. Creating community is cute. It's all amazing. It's not even cute. It's fucking incredible. Okay. Yes, it's amazing. However, what is your why when your brain is like, I could just not. I could just not. My life was fine before. I actually didn't have all these fears and this resistance and the self-doubt coming up. I didn't have these things falling out of my life. Like, I was fine before. It was safe. It was easy. It was comfortable. Let's just go back to that because I don't need all of this. Of course you don't need it. You can totally numb out and live a normal, traditional life. You don't need to live a life of purpose. You actually don't. It's not a requirement for being a human. However, for those of you who have a soul that can't not, your purpose will come back. Even when you give into the drama of the mind, you say, Steph, this was too much. Too much. I'm going to go back. I'm good on this whole purpose thing. Like, it just feels like a lot. Most people will never get to this level of actually finding their deeper why because they will give in to the drama of the mind that says, I could just not, and it would be so easy. But let me tell you this, your purpose will come back. For those of you who are destined to be leaders in this lifetime, who have skills and a mission to serve, your purpose will come back. You can give in. You can say, oh, it's not for me right now, but it will come back. It will. Okay. So if you can take this moment of hitting your knees as like, all right, Steph prepared me for this. I knew it was going to happen. What is my deeper why? What is the why behind actually living this life of purpose and going after this vision and taking action on it and aligning my life to the exact things that I'm passionate about? And it has to be deeper than just to help people and to build community and to create money. Like, yes, those are great, but it's BS when you're really coming up against yourself. You have to get clear on what is that primal, deep urge inside of you to live with purpose. And it's gotta be for you first. For me personally, there is this deep, deep feeling that even if I want to escape it, even if I want to be complacent in my life, my soul cannot not grow. I have to be evolving in this lifetime. If I'm not evolving, I feel half alive. So if that means walking through every fear and every self-doubt to understand deeper sides of myself and to feel more empowered on the other side and therefore help other people just because I'm doing the work on myself and can give more love to other people and can leave people better than I found them, then that is enough. I have to be growing and evolving. And if God is pointing me in the direction of like, hey, this is the business that you're meant to start. This is the opportunity that you're meant to say yes to. These are the people that you're meant to speak to. If that's where God is pointing me, then I'm going to follow because I know every single day there is a new puzzle piece that is dropping in to show me, hey, here's the deeper level of your growth. And also, you're going to use this to serve other people because I believe that that is why we go through things. Yes, for ourselves first and for our own souls, we come to this earth to be able to evolve on a soul level. And also, we're meant to walk through certain lessons so that we can serve other people and create more bridges for other people as well. It is so common if I walk through something in my life, it could literally be within 24 hours that I will have a client come to me with almost the exact same lesson or experience, or someone, it'll be brought up in conversation or something will happen where I'm like, yes, I went through this for me, but also I completely understand why I went through this now because it's serving somebody else as well. And so for me personally, that why is to uncover every single part of myself that might be standing in the way of getting to that feeling of deeper love and serving other people with that deeper love. Because every single time that I know that I step up to the plate to actually look at what's coming up for me, look at what's in front of me, look at all the patterns, look at all the things that I don't want to look at, I know that I'll make a difference on the other side because I uncover that new side of myself. And I can feel just that feeling of being on the other side and looking back and say, oh my God, I was so afraid of that. And then I did it. And hot damn, I feel alive. That's where the name Fully Alive comes from. Is those times where you're like, Steph, I can't take it anymore. I can't actually do it. Oh my God, but I know I'm meant to. And then you put yourself into that experience and you do it and you follow through on what you said you would do and you do the damn thing. There's no better feeling. That is truly the feeling of being fully alive. So if you're starting to get curious on what your own personal why is, I will typically say that there are 3 layers to your why. Right? So you have your why for you. This is what's in it for you. Why are you doing this for yourself? Your why for others. So why are you doing this for the people around you? It could be the close people around you. It could be your community. It could be your clients. It could be just generational patterns. Why are you doing this for others? And then why are you doing this for a greater purpose or a greater ripple effect in this world? It could be something that you desire to see talked about in this world. It could be something spiritually based. It doesn't matter. It is for a greater purpose. And that why is the thing that pulls you through those moments of lessons where you're being initiated into your next level of leadership that brings you to step number 3, which is what I call the snowball effect. So this is when you've walked through the fire. You're like, oh, okay, I understand what happens here. Yes, I get to live with liberation and freedom and fun and joy, and I get to do things that were once on my vision board, and I get to help people in the process, and I get to be wildly rich and abundant and on purpose within my life, and there's no better feeling, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. Yes, I get to do that. And also, I will walk through parts of my shadow. This is why I say business is my most spiritual practice. It will bring to light parts of yourself that you thought were long gone. You thought were buried deep down in there. You're like, I can escape that one. We'll just bury it down. No, you can't do that. Okay. You can't do that with your purpose. You can't do that in business because it will bring all of the sides to you. Right. So once you walk through those and you're like, yes, I've got it down. I know that they're going to come. You've clarified your deeper why, and you start to cultivate this vibe of I can handle anything. Okay, I know that life isn't going to be without the challenges. The challenges don't scare me anymore. I can handle it. I know they're coming. And I know that the amount of gratitude I have in my heart and my belief in myself to move through those, because every single time they're leading me to something greater on the other side. Oh, that's a huge part. Is every single time you walk through one of those lessons, there's always something beautiful on the other side. There has to be, whether it's an opportunity, a next level for yourself, something that you had always envisioned, a deeper level of fulfillment. There's something on the other side. Okay. So you start to realize that's just what happens. There's an energy of invincibility that happens, that runs through your body where you're like, I can take on anything. And there's that snowball effect. This is where it gets fun, where the results start to come in. You start taking consistent action. You start becoming more visible. Maybe those vision board things start to happen again. And of course, it's not without challenge, but the challenge isn't jarring. Your reaction time gets better. You get to focus on the beautiful things that are happening, and you start to have fun with your purpose. You're like, this is what people talk about. You're seeing the success. You're feeling the magnetism and the confidence that comes from being on purpose. Maybe you're taking action within a business. Maybe you're making moves in your career to align with what you truly feel called to do in this lifetime. Okay. This is a snowball effect. It's beautiful. It's fun. Step number 4 from there is where we move into the movement and your refined skills. So now you've created something amazing. Maybe you've created the business, you've created the change within your life. You're taking action. You have success and results that are in your track record, that are aligned with your purpose. You're feeling super freaking fulfilled. And now you start to refine your skills. So whereas before you're like, I feel this call to serve. This is the vision that's on my heart. I'm going to do it and I'm going to take action on it. And you're just doing things and you're starting to get results. So maybe, for example, in business, let's say you're a coach and you just go into coaching and you're like, I know that this is who I'm meant to serve. I know that this is what I'm meant to do. You start doing it, you create success, you create the results. And then over time, you start to realize that you are incredibly good at what you do. And it's not just anything that you do. It's not just any form of coaching that you do. It's not just any one specific result that you get. But there is something that is very specific and very unique to you. Maybe it comes through how you do it. Maybe it comes through the methodology that you bring. This is your X factor. And your X factor is the very thing that differentiates you and takes you from this first level of success to the next level of success with your purpose. It takes you from just doing the things and having success to actually being the leader of a movement and an industry as well. Your work transforms from just being a business or just being a career into a movement that has the capacity to magnetize millions, millions of people, millions of dollars, millions of opportunities, because it is just that potent. It's backed by your purpose. It's backed by a why. And now it starts to gain momentum. There's an actual movement that's attached to it. And that is where you really create a name for yourself. And things continue growing and growing and growing. Your purpose is so ingrained in what you do. And you're starting to see the next levels of your own success and fulfillment, of course. They go hand in hand in this fully alive world over here, where your fulfillment is the fuel for your success. So my loves, my biggest invitation for you all is to really start to notice, where are you at on this timeline? Are you at the beginning stage where like, I've got this vision on my heart, amazing, whoo, 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 awesome? Are you at the stage where you are hitting your knees and you're like, holy cannoli, I feel really uncomfortable. I know that I'm here for a big purpose, but for some reason, everything's coming up in my face. There's a part of me that wants to turn back around. And could you dig in just a little bit more? Because I promise you there's something beautiful on the other side. And I promise you it is not the sign to turn back around. I promise you this is what you were made for. Are you at the part where you're snowballing and you've had some success and you're headed for more success? But now it's time to actually refine your skills and to create a movement around your work to really reignite that mission behind everything that you do. If you're somebody who you've created a business and maybe you feel a little bit bored by the results of all of it, that is where your X factor and your movement really come in to refresh the mission behind everything and really pinpoint it so that it's something specific to you. It's not just this blanket statement or this, cookie cutter I help statement that you were taught when you first started your business, but it's actually something that can last with you over time, that you can grow as a brand. Notice, where are you at? And what do you need to actually get to that next step? Take inventory and spend a little bit of time journaling with yourself on what that key next step is for you. Because if there's one thing I know for sure, it is that you were put in this world for such a beautiful purpose and mission, and you would be doing all of us humans a disservice to not actually go for it. And if you're in the place where you really want to clarify your purpose and then get paid for it to bring it into your career so that you can do it day in and day out and create the impact that you know that you are here to create, then you can check out the link in show notes for opportunities to work together, whether that's through Purpose Mastery, Magnetic Business, or one-on-one coaching. I will have spots available for the fall, and I can't wait to see you there. So with that said, I hope you all have the most beautiful rest of your day. If you enjoyed this, send me a message on Instagram at Stephanie Elsperman, or better yet, take a hot second, leave a review. 5-star rating and review is so helpful for this entire podcast and means the absolute world to me. So I love you all. Mwah! I'll see you on the next episode.